Hey everybody, this is David Scott again, one of my silly blogs, trying to help people. Who knows? Maybe you need to hear this, maybe you don't. But anyway, I pastor the Family of Hope Church in Saugerties, New York, and I love to help people. But today I got an interesting little thing about listening, and you might remember, maybe you don't, the Frasier Crane, the TV show that took place from 1993 to 2004. It was called Frasier, and Frasier Crane was the lead guy and the actor in it. The actor's name is Kelsey Grammer, and he played a radio psychologist who used to answer the phone to people who call in for psychological advice. And he would answer the phone, "Hi, this is Frasier, blah, blah, blah." He goes, "I'm listening." And his character was not a character that listened very well. So I always said, after he said, "I'm listening," I'd always go, "Are you?" Doesn't sound like it. Anyway, later on after that, he played a pastor in the movie The Jesus Revolution. And he actually ended up committing his life to the Lord after that movie. But at any rate, he'd say, "I'm listening." And I'm like, "Are you?" And it's an interesting thing because I went into a restroom a few months ago, and I'm hard of hearing. I don't really hear that well. I didn't protect my hearing when I was younger, and so anyway, I'm in this restroom. I walk in. It's a multiple use, multiple person restroom. I walk in. The guy behind the door says, "Get out," and I'm like, "What? You want me to get out?" He goes, "No, no, no, get out." So I'm like, okay. So I get out, and I'm kind of like upset with the guy. He wants me to get out, and I'm thinking, wow, what a jerk. Like what's wrong with that guy? A little while later, we sit down at the table. We're playing this game of bridge, and we sit down at the table, and this guy sits down, and he starts telling everybody. He says, he goes, "I can't believe what just happened to me in the bathroom." He said the bathroom stall got jammed and got locked, and I couldn't get out of there. And I'm telling this guy to help me to get out, and he leaves. And I went like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that." It's like, if I could just hear better. And then it kind of hit me. Maybe that's really the problem that we have in life when we're not really helping ourselves, we're not helping other people, we're not really listening too good. And, it's an interesting thing because Jesus actually said, "He who has ears to hear, let him hear." And I mean, from a logical point of view, I'm like, well, everybody who has ears to hear can hear, but that's not the point. The point is that we have ears to hear, but we often don't hear, and there's some reasons for that. So I'll skip right into those reasons because it's all me. I'm guilty of all of these things. Number one is pride. At my age, 73 years old, I feel like, I'm good enough. I've changed. I'm a pretty good person. Married 53 years, blah, blah, all this stuff. And then I realize pride is preventing me from hearing to grow more. I'm good enough is no. I need to learn. I need to grow and so forth and so on. So pride tells us, the God's grace tells us that we know in part. Therefore, we don't know everything. We need to start listening. And then there's another thing that causes us to not hear very well is we hear something over and over and over, and we stop listening. We stop hearing that. I had people who live next to train tracks. They hear the train go by all the time, and I'm talking to them, and then they don't even hear the train go by. And I'm like, "Don't you hear that?" Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. It's like that at my house. I talk too much. I do. I talk too much. And my wife, I'll be talking to her about something, then I'll realize a couple minutes later, she's not listening to me. Why should she? She hears me talking all the time. And so I get it. I get it. But the fact of the matter is, sometimes we need to be paying attention. We need to be listening because maybe that person who talks too much is saying something I really need to hear this time. I don't know. And then another reason we don't listen to certain people, certain things, is I don't like that person. That person, I don't really like them. And so we like, no, I'm not listening to anything they say. I find it interesting that sometimes the Lord uses people I don't like to say something to me or to get a point across. Yeah, that happens. I'm not going to get into any examples of that in my own life because there are some like that. So that's very interesting. And then there's distractions. Distractions. So we hear what we're supposed to hear, and then we say, okay, I'm going to do something about that. And then we get distracted by life, we get distracted by this, and we forget all about it. And so we didn't really hear. We didn't put it into practice. So what I'm telling you, saying, folks, is we all need to grow, continually grow up. And in order to grow up, we need to hear what God is saying to us. And God will use other people also to help us listen better. So prop up your ears, start listening, grow up. Have fun. Hope this helps today. See you later. Bye bye.